Good morning, crypto Twitter, it's Misty Crypto, spreading crypto with doctors showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included, it's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, making money at the same time, spread peace. I feel empty if you don't include Gen Z, about to change the world, so y'all better get ready. Misty Crypto, I'm never backing down, I got a wax account, you should check it out. So many NFTs, I think I lost count, and I'm only getting started, yeah, I'm barely off the ground. Misty Crypto, you cannot stop me, my hands are made from diamonds, your hands fall like origami. Never be the boss of me, Bitcoin's all I need, when I say I'm zesty, that's just me, talking honestly. Crypto, yum bomb, marketplace, I wanna see the more, we gotta go through cyberspace, leave this world without a trace, say pay for a different day, cause we partners in the cryptos did stay.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Miss Teen Crypto Show. Today we have yet another zesty guest and fellow Gen Z. Please give a warm welcome to Crypty Girl. Crypty Girl. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Miss Teen
Welcome
Crypto
back
Show.
to the show.
Today we have yet another zesty guest and fellow Gen Z. Please give a warm welcome to Crypty Girl. Crypty
Hey
Girl.
everyone, and welcome back to the Miss Teen
Welcome
Crypto
back
Show.
to the show.
Today we have yet
Wait,
another
what's
zesty
happening
guest
here? I'm
and
so sorry
fellow
about
Gen
this.
Z. Please give a warm welcome.
There we go. I got it. Technical difficulties, everyone. Again, welcome to the show and welcome, Crypty Girl. Yes, I really love what you do. I mean, I've been following you since literally day one on Twitter, so it's honestly an honor to have you. And I really, again, I adore you and what you do with this space, especially because you've been here for quite a bit. You're like a teen OG.
Yeah. So I heard you've been traveling a lot lately. Did you just get back?
Yes, I recently got back from California. It was a really great time. I went on a sea-doo there. I was talking to boat owners about Bitcoin. It was a really great time.
How did they take it, like when you're going around telling everyone about it?
Honestly, they were really receptive, and a lot of them were really happy, and they were like, oh, hey, cryptocurrency, what's that? And it was a vibe, honestly. It was
That
honestly a
sounds
vibe.
awesome.
It was so great. But I really do want to ask you about, how you first got into crypto.
Sure. So just towards the end of my high school career, I was getting into college, and my older brother actually told me about Bitcoin, and it was something that he had known about since 2015, but didn't really get into it until 2017. So in mid 2018, like after that whole like Bitcoin at 20K and then dumped back down in mid 2018, I started hearing about Bitcoin from my family, and then I learned about it and started investing in it. And at that point, Bitcoin had just dropped like from 5,000 to 3,000. So I entered the market at the bottom at around $3,000 per Bitcoin. And for a while, like I didn't have a lot of money because, I'm just like out of high school and still like learning to work and have a career and like still trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So I paid my parents to buy Bitcoin for me, and then they'd hold it in their wallets. And over the next year, I was kind of just traveling and wondering what I do with my life. And I was sitting in a hotel room one day. I was like, I have to go back home soon, and I wonder what's going to be waiting for me when I get home, or what I'm going to do. Like, I really have to think about what career I want to have, because this is going to be what I focus on the rest of my life. And I just remember thinking, my dad is in the corporate world and he's stressed out. He has that 9 to 5 and like all his creativity is sucked out of him and it just seems to take a toll on him and he hasn't been able to retire yet. And that's not something that I want to do. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to start my own business. And I was thinking like I'd rather do something I love and make less money potentially than like get sucked into something that I don't like but be making lots of money. And I was like, what things do I like? And I'm listing them out. And I'm like, well, cryptocurrency. Like that's pretty much the one thing I could think about. I was like at the top of my list. I was like, what kind of jobs are there in crypto? I wasn't sure, but like over the next 2 days, I was like, I should give myself a Bitcoin shirt because I only have one. And then it just hit me. It just hit me. I was like, oh my gosh, I should start an apparel shop selling premium crypto apparel to people. Because like I was looking through websites trying to find Bitcoin shirts for women, and I didn't really see anything that was like my taste or style. And I was just like, well, maybe this is something that I can do in the meantime, and I'll learn to be an entrepreneur, and I'll be doing something I love, and I'll be spreading crypto adoption, because when people wear their apparel, then they can walk down the street and get asked about Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and it'll be like really comfortable and things like that. So yeah, that's what I did. I started Crypty Shop, cryptyshop.com, and then since then I was like, well, I don't just want to be a business and like do nothing else. So I was like, I'm gonna start making content, and that's how I got onto Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and started making some videos and interviewing people and just really learning more about different cryptocurrencies and like how I could get more involved. But that was the start of my crypto journey, and now I'm involved in many different communities.
Wow. So you got into Bitcoin or you heard about it in 2015?
No, I heard about it in 2018.
2018.
And the 2017, and then got into it in mid 2018. But it was my older brother who knew about it in 2015.
Wow, that's so amazing. Good for your brother. Good for you as well. So how old were you around when you would buy your first crypto? How old were you around?
Probably 18.
Wow, that's so awesome. Good for you. Yay. You got in so early too. I wish I got in.
I was 17.
That's so amazing. I wish I got in like earlier. It's just like how much earlier could we have gotten in, but like you always
I
wish.
mean, you've gotten in super early. Technically, you'd be earlier than me, right?
I mean, age-wise, I think I bought when I was 16.
I mean, age-wise.
Age-wise, yeah. But you were in much earlier than me. I mean, I didn't really like
yeah.
yeah, like I didn't like fully like, like go into this until I would say like 2019, 2020 I was like interested. But you were interested before me and you were really into this before me, which so awesome. I love it so much. Like just teenagers buying Bitcoin. And I love how you said you used your parents as a Bitcoin ATM because I did the exact same thing before I turned 18.
I know. I was trying to even make money and not be in debt, trying to buy a car, and like all the car repairs had me in debt. So I was like, can I just like give you $100, Mom, and you buy this Bitcoin for me, please? Yeah.
It's so great that your parents are supportive.
It can be tough for Generation Z to get into cryptocurrency, and our generation, I feel like, intuitively knows that Bitcoin is awesome and cryptocurrency is a good thing, like decentralized cryptocurrency. And I think we just naturally understand it and enjoy it. However, it is harder for us to get into it anyway, even if we do get it and like it, just because the majority of Generation Z is still teenagers and we don't have a lot of money we're making right now. So it can be challenging.
Exactly. Like we don't have this massive income. It's hard. Like accessibility is really hard, and that's what I tell a lot of people, especially in being a teenager in New York, because in New York, like Bitcoin ATMs are illegal. So one way for us to buy Bitcoin is eliminated straight up. So it's like if I didn't have my parents to help me with my Bitcoin ventures, just like you, I would have been in a pickle. I would have been stuck until I turned 18, and that's no fair unless I went to Jersey. So, I mean, to buy Bitcoin from an ATM. But I really love that your parents were supportive. I like that we have that in common as well. That like, we just truly embraced our crypto ventures.
Absolutely. It is nice that my family learned more about it and got on board as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and you all kind of got onboarded at the same time too. So it was like a family journey. It was like, all right, guys,
It
let's
is.
go.
It's been great. Yeah. And now recently, like I'll be out in town at events and I'll be asked to give a quick presentation about cryptocurrency at the end of an event. Like I just did that a couple weeks ago where I just talked to a room full of maybe baby boomers, like older generations, about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Just like took 20 minutes to like say what it is. Pretty much the whole room knew what it is. I'm like, do you guys know what Bitcoin is? Raise your hands. Like everyone raised their hand. I'm like, okay, cool. So you all get it. And then a lot of them just have reservations about it, being like, oh, it's digital money, and they have all the arguments like, oh, it could be hacked or it could shut down or something like that. And I just had a few slides of like the concerns and the realities next to it. So I was just immediately addressing all of their concerns right at the beginning. And then once I got through all of that, then I reminded them, this is money of the people. We get to hold our own private keys. We get to have complete control. No one can take our money away from us or interfere transactions. No freezing bank accounts. None of that. Self-sovereignty and having the potential for price appreciation, just restoring that financial freedom. I reminded them all that. I even shared some quotes from our founding fathers and just being like, this is what the founders have to say about banks and the monetary system. And I'm like, Bitcoin is like the freedom money, like money of the people. And then I just showed them a chart at the end comparing all the stocks over the last 10 years to Bitcoin. Like if you had invested $100 into Bitcoin 10 years ago, you'd have a 9 million% return. And Amazon, Tesla, Netflix, none of those even compare. They're like in the thousands range of percent return. They don't even compare to Bitcoin. And then I showed a gold comparison chart to Bitcoin. And gold has only gone up 278% in the last 15 years. And Bitcoin is 11 years old.
Yep.
And has already done like millions and millions percent return, right? So, I mean, I appreciate gold. I'm not dissing precious metals at all. Like, don't get me wrong, guys. I love precious metals. But just as far as a price comparison, like, Bitcoin is solid.
Yeah, I totally agree. I love how you said that you put at the beginning of your presentations, like people's doubts and the realities. Girl, that was so good. I love that. Because, like, it's just like right off the bat, you're like, okay, this is what people say, and this is what the reality is. And then they're like, oh, all right, that makes sense. So let me learn more about this Bitcoin thing and what it actually does now that my concerns are addressed. That's so awesome. I really love that.
And it really gets them open-minded after, because if you start with all the other things first, your audience might be closed-minded the entire time you're talking and not even take in what you're saying and just pretty much ignore it. And that's not beneficial at all. So just addressing all their concerns up front allows them to be more open-minded. And I think everyone left intrigued. I think they're all going home to watch YouTube videos on Bitcoin and crypto. And I know at least 2, 3, maybe 5 people asked me for help to invest with crypto after that.
Yes.
So I know the rest of the audience was intrigued too. Like, yeah, and there was one guy, I just remember him being like, well, how can I trust all these computers around the world securing Bitcoin? Like, I don't know who these people are. I can't trust them. And he's talking about nodes, mining nodes, securing the Bitcoin network. And I was like, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. However, I trust Bitcoin a heck of a lot more than I trust big banks, because the instant you deposit your money into the bank, it's legally the bank's money, and they can take your money at any time and never give it back to you. And do you think the banks have the best interest, your best interest at heart? I don't think so. And then I also told them, like, since March 2020, there has been no Federal Reserve requirement. Like, we used to have partial reserve requirements, like the banks had to keep 10% of whatever was deposited.
Yep.
So keeping $1 for every $10 deposited. And there's no longer reserve requirements. So they don't have to keep any of your money. And it's just so sketchy. And like Bitcoin is secured by math and code. So I feel like Bitcoin is a much more trustworthy than the banks.
100% agreed. I love Bitcoin because, listen, we're self-sovereign, like you said before. I say the same exact thing to everybody else. We are self-sovereign individuals. We have our keys. We actually own something for once. We gave up our control to our money, our funds, even song rights. You know, when you buy a song on Apple, do you really own the song? Can you do anything with it? No. So we don't own the song once we buy it on iTunes. So with Bitcoin, NFTs, it's all yours. It's actual self-custody, which I think we haven't had in hundreds of years, I think, since the banks.
You make a great point with the songs. Like, you don't actually own the song. It's just, you get to listen to it. You get to pay to listen to it. But, yeah. And Bitcoin has a capped supply, so I mean, the Federal Reserve prints unlimited amounts of money.
Exactly. It's like we can't control it, but Bitcoin is something that it's a community. We all agreed on this term that we all like that there are 21 million Bitcoin. We like the way it works, and it's the money of the people, just like you said before. That was really awesome. You're so smart, Crypty, honestly. Like wow. Do you like actually doing workshops? Is that something you're interested in as well? Because I know you were into podcasting and things like that.
I haven't done a ton of workshops, but I do really enjoy being able to share with the people what I'm passionate about and what I know will do them a lot of good. So yes, absolutely. Like I do have I am discreet sometimes about sharing in my local area just because I don't want anyone to be like come knocking on my door and like try to take my crypto.
Yeah.
Like we should all be cautious about telling people how much crypto we own or like where exactly we live. Just be careful about that, guys. But I really do enjoy telling people about it and teaching for sure. And it's just a nice thing to be able to speak in front of a live audience and be able to I'm learning to speak more eloquently. I have to polish my speaking skills, but I'm getting more confident as I do it. So I enjoy that public speaking aspect as well.
Yeah, me too. It's so fun. I love workshops. I just love I
used to be terrified though.
No, you're so good at speaking. Like you're very well spoken. Like you're really so smart. You're like someone that I really like to listen to, honestly. Like you're really cool.
Thanks. I love you too. You're awesome.
You're the best. I know you're into a lot of different cryptos. I know you're into DigiByte, Pulse Chain, and Hex, as you've mentioned recently. So if you want, let's start off with DigiByte. Why do you like DigiByte? What's the difference between DigiByte and Bitcoin? For all the newbies out there.
I think of DigiByte as like the grandson to Bitcoin because DigiByte has the same source code of Bitcoin. It's technically a fork of Litecoin though, and Litecoin's a fork of Bitcoin. But
it's a fork of a fork of a fork.
DigiByte is faster. It's the longest UTXO blockchain and fastest UTXO blockchain in the world. So it's got 15-second blocks. It's extremely secure with 5 mining algorithms. I think that's one of my favorite things instead of just one mining algorithm, because the 5 mining algorithms further decentralize the network by allowing all these different types of miners to mine DigiByte, and it's just incentivizing like more miners to come. And I mean, there's so many miners around the world that it makes DigiByte very secure, and each of the mining algorithms have real-time difficulty adjustment called multi-shield. Used to be DigiShield. And that's another thing. DigiShield was actually DigiByte technology that's helped out so many blockchains. DigiShield, the real-time difficulty adjustment, prevents chain freezing. And in 2014, that saved DigiByte, and it was also implemented into Ethereum, saved Ethereum, in Dogecoin, saved Dogecoin, Zcash, Bitcoin Cash, and 2 dozen other blockchains. So it's really cool that DigiByte technology was able to help all the other blockchains, and that DigiByte community and developers are just altruistic and genuinely want to help blockchain succeed, because the bigger mission is decentralization. There seems to be less fighting with other communities in DigiByte. Like overall, I've seen the DigiByte community is very humble. Yeah, so 5 mining algorithms. There's a capped supply of 21 billion DigiByte, although they did just find a bug that they have to fix really quick. But there's always room for improvement in code, and there's always innovating. So there's a lot of potential for DigiByte, and you can make one of the mining algorithms proof of stake. And I think they're going to be doing that in the near future, which is really cool. Oh shoot, I just had another thought. Digi assets, so you can build NFTs and smart contracts on DigiByte. There's so many good things. Digi ID is one of the most secure authentication methods in the world, backed by DigiByte. So yeah, lots of good things.
Ooh, Digi NFTs?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be zesty. Digi NFTs.
Digi assets.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, that's so cool. And I also remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember last year you were tweeting about how DigiByte could actually help in voting and things like that. Like if you were to hold like, some sort of public vote.
Yeah, for sure. Just using the DigiByte blockchain to back voting would just decentralize and secure the network. So it'd be really awesome if we had our politicians on the blockchain, right? Because then we could see what exactly they're voting for, and then also, I mean, you could look it up on like Congress websites and things, but mainly where their money is going. Like, I want to know who is funding these politicians and where is their money going and things like that, because they'll say like, oh yeah, it's going to education, but is it really? I don't know, and I'd like to know. And even the founding fathers talk about being able to know where the money is going. Like, that's a really important thing. So, I mean, blockchain could greatly benefit our electoral system.
Definitely. Totally agree. It's transparency. And sometimes we need transparency, honestly. Just to see what's up and check for ourselves.
I feel like it would just be more secure anyway, because our internet is so vulnerable right now. Like Web 2.0, it's just very vulnerable, very centralized. It would be so easy to take down the web. I feel like if another country wanted to attack the United States web, or I don't know, it's too vulnerable, and I know that we have technology to improve it, and it could be better, so we need to make that happen. And it's by the hand of the people, right? Like, it's the people making this movement happen, bringing about Web 3.0 and innovative tech. It's going to be by the people's hand.
Exactly. I love that, guy. Say it louder for the people in the back. Web 3.0, guys. Let's make it happen. Let's integrate decentralized social media, decentralized internet. Let's decentralize ourselves, not just our bank accounts. So that's amazing. And if you also want to give a brief summary on Hex as well, and if you're into that, why you like it, and because I know you post a lot about that, and you've made some zesty merch with Hex.
Oh, thank you. Oh yeah, actually, my pillow here. Got my Hex pillow behind me from my shop. Yeah, woo. Love that galaxy look, right?
Yeah, I like it. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I do love Hex because Hex is the first banking certificate of deposit on the blockchain. So it's replacing one of those banking functions with the blockchain. And that's all it is, guys. It's like a long-term savings account, the banking CD on the blockchain. And I mean, talking about price appreciation, that's one thing that Hex is really good at. It was the best performer of 2020. I think it had a 37,000% gain, maybe 35,000% for 2020. And then, like, since it was founded in December 2019, had over a 200,000% gain. So I know that everyone who's invested in Hex has been doing extremely well, and it's just great to see good people making money. It's something I really love. But this is how it works. You have the option for staking your hex between 15 years. The maximum length of time you can stake for is 5,555 days. And you don't have to stake, that's optional. But when you stake your hex for that amount of time, you're going to be earning interest during your stake. And the average interest for a 5-year stake is around 37% APY, like
Wow.
yearly interest. If you're doing a 10-year stake, it might be 60% APY. I'm not sure on that exact number, but the point is you're going to be earning a lot of interest for the longer you stake, and that's part of the tokenomics. So longer pays better and bigger pays better the bigger your stake is. But Hex also rewards the early staker, because those who stake maybe in 5 years from now, like they don't find Hex until like 5 years from now, they're not going to be earning as much interest, because the more people who stake Hex, the less interest all stakers get. So right now, out of the total amount of global Hex investors, only 9 to 10% of global investors are stakers. Like everyone else has their Hex liquid, not staked. So that 9% of stakers, they are earning on average 40% interest. And that's why people go, oh, that's unbelievable, that's crazy, you can't be earning that much interest. It falls as more people stake. So it might be 20% APY in a couple of years from now. It might be less. I'm not sure, but that's why it's rewarding the early staker. And there's a guaranteed 3.69% APY inflation for Hex. So even in 30 years from now, if you choose to stake your Hex in 30 years from now, then you're guaranteed 3.69% APY. So it will never fall below that number.
That's pretty awesome.
Much the summary of Hex.
Very nice. So the more Hex you have, or the longer you stake, the more APY you can earn, and the more people that join, the less APY all stakers earn.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. That was good. That was a really good summary. Like, that just really clicked for me. Because I wasn't completely sure about Hex and what it was. But that was a zesty explanation. I totally got that.
Zesty.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
It's actually pretty simple when you think about it. And even if you don't stake your Hex, I mean, Hex was founded with price appreciation in mind. So even if you're not staking and earning APY, the Hex price is still performing amazing. But guys, this is not financial advice. I do love Hex, but I'm not like gonna advise you on it or anything. But just do your research on it. My research proves that it is fine. Nothing is wrong with it. That it is a good thing for the people. It had free, independent audits, and it's been fine.
Yeah, I know you've been having a lot of fun with Hex. I know Ken Bozak has had a lot of fun with Hex. I see him in the chat right now. There's amazing people in the chat. Just want to shout them out real quick. Hey, Paulie, Clint, Becca. Oh my gosh, Becca's throwing an event in October in Pittsburgh. So guys, watch out for that. Everyone, thank you for joining. Roar, Spaceship Films, Jordan, Randy, thank you for joining. Thank you everyone for joining. We've been having such a good time so far, and I really love, as you said, like as I was saying before, I love how you explain things and how you actually want to do your own workshops, which I think is great. It's exactly what I want to do as well. So what else do you think us as Gen Z can do to spread more adoption?
Great question. Ooh, gifts. That is such a funny concept. But GIFs and memes are truly one of the best ways to spread information, especially for Gen Z.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I've witnessed it this year firsthand for sure. My friend Blazard has made a bunch of GIFs through my video content, and then I started making GIFs, just me being like, yay, or DigiByte, or awesome, right? And just those rankings and stuff, and it has like my DigiByte hoodie on or my Hex hoodie on. Those spread all across the internet to topics that are outside of cryptocurrency and reach so many people. And they're like, someone sent me this GIF and we weren't even talking about crypto, and it was you, Crypty girl. I was like, oh, no way.
That's awesome. Like, I know the laser eye meme went so far.
What?
The laser eye meme went so far. Sorry to cut you off. Keep going.
Oh, right. Yeah, and memes make people laugh, so they're like lighthearted, but they still convey information. So memes are a great way to communicate. I guess TikTok, but I myself am not on TikTok anymore just because of security vulnerabilities, but it's where Gen Z lives. It's where it's at. If you guys do want to get on TikTok to reach Gen Z, props to you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what your thoughts were on crypto talk, but I'm sure you see like TikToks on other platforms because I feel like TikToks like they just travel, man. Like I'm on YouTube Shorts, I see TikToks. I'm on Instagram Reels, I see TikToks. I see it everywhere. What do you think of like crypto social media? Do you think there's obviously more presence to be had, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's kind of a general question, so I'm not exactly where I should go with that, but from an outsider looking in, if they get onto crypto Twitter, I think there's a lot of crypto jargon that is hard for people to understand at first, all the lingo,
Yeah.
just using acronyms like NFTs or ATH for all-time high, just different things like that, and hopefully it doesn't scare people away with sometimes the negative vibe. Like sometimes there can just be toxicity, but I guess it depends on which community you get into. I think YouTube is a great place for beginners. I think that there they break it down simply and have good explanations. I guess it depends on which platform you're going on to. Like Instagram is mainly Bitcoiners. Like I don't see other crypto communities on Instagram except for Bitcoiners.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's mostly like I feel like Instagram is really behind. I don't know. It's like kind of
Yeah.
weird because I feel like everyone's on every platform, but Twitter is definitely I feel like is the hub for all the Bitcoin people like crypto Twitter. And then you got like Instagram and it's so I feel like it's so much harder to reach people like with crypto on Instagram. I feel like it just doesn't get as far. And crypto is like starting to get popular on Instagram, but it's like so behind. I feel like it's just slowly dripping into Instagram and Instagram because I think Instagram is actually just like not letting crypto things go far. I heard it was just something really weird. That's why we
That
need
could
decentralized.
be. And also, I guess just because the main audience aren't Instagrammers, if you think about the target crypto investor, it would be a millennial male, and most of them already have Twitter accounts and they hang out on Twitter. I don't see a lot of millennial males on Instagram. Like that's more of a Gen Z female platform overall, I'd say. So I guess there's not a bunch of crypto investors on Instagram. And then from my own experience is that there's a bunch of scammers on Instagram, like incredible, more than Twitter. Like I have so many impersonators and scammers hitting me up on Instagram. I know you do too, like all the influencers have to deal with it. So I guess Instagram would be behind in that sense, and maybe it's not the best place to learn about crypto.
Yeah, I mean, I try. It's also very hard to use. It's like Twitter is so fun because you could just like put out a thought like, oh, what am I buying today, for example, or like Happy Friday. But you can't do that on Instagram unless you have a picture. So it's like you can't even like put a thought out there.
Yeah.
Like and then
I
they have
use
like
stories a lot.
yeah, I like the stories. I wish they like stuck around for longer, like unless you highlight them, like you can't even it's just a mess. It's just I'm
I like it. I like the 24 hours and then disappear.
Yeah, I mean, unless you highlight them, then you can like make like we need like I like how you were saying before like people don't know the lingo. We need a crypto dictionary, like a crypto Twitter dictionary. Someone get on that. We'll make it an NFT and everything. It'll be hilarious.
For sure.
That would be so funny. Hi, Blizzard. We were just talking about you and your fire memes before. Shout
Hey,
out.
Vlad. Yeah, I was just saying how awesome his gifts were.
Honestly, one of the best like meme makers on crypto Twitter. Just gonna shout you out right there. Like he really is so cool. So also, since we were talking about women as well and how you were talking about the demographics, how do you feel as like a woman in this space and how do you think we could get more women in this space and things like that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I get asked this question a lot, and I never have a very specific answer or the same answer each time. Just depends. Being a woman in the space doesn't change things for me. I think I might get more engagement as a byproduct just being a female automatically because there aren't a lot of women in crypto. But as far as treatment, like I feel like I'm treated pretty fairly, the same as everyone else. But again, I might get more engagement on my content. But I do know women in crypto who don't get a lot of engagement, so you do still have to work hard at it. So don't think we're just like automatically handed everything on a silver platter. Like we do have to work and make good content and like put out valuable information to get followers and stuff. But you make your own experience, so I expect everyone to treat me respectfully and how I would treat them. And overall, my experience is very positive because that's what I expect and that's what happens. And as far as how we get more women in crypto, it might just be giving it time just to have overall more crypto adoption. I don't know. I mean, maybe women just aren't as interested in investing as men, but yeah, I'm not quite sure how to get more women into crypto. I just say just give it time then.
I rock with that. I rock with that as well.
Do you have any ideas? Do you have any ideas to get women into crypto?
I mean, I don't know what the block is. I think women, like, once they get into it, like, they get addicted. I think it's just like, I think that's everyone almost. I just know that the demographic is mostly male, and that confuses me because I know, like, the girls that are into crypto are really into crypto. Like my coworker, she's been in the space for like not in the space, like not active like as a person in the space, but she's been into crypto for the past, like, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years, and she kicks it, man. Like me and her, we talk about it all the time when I go to work, and our boss is like, "You talking about that crypto?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay, so what happened this week?" But yeah, it's really great. I think the women that are into it are just really into it. It's just like one thing about women, we're just so passionate. We love, like, when we find something, we love it, and that goes for everyone as well. I'm not calling out the males. All you males are awesome. We love you.
For sure. Love all around.
Yes, love all around. I also wanted to get your thoughts on NFTs. What do you think? Are you into NFTs? Do you buy any? Are you interested in making any?
That's a good question. As of right now, I don't talk a lot about NFTs, and I'm not dabbling in the NFT market at all. I think there's still room for improvement for NFTs, just to make sure, for example, that you can't have your NFT shut down if an NFT marketplace website shut down, like Nifty Gateway. Is that one of the NFT websites?
Yeah, Gemini's, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, a lot of NFT websites, I found out that a lot of the NFTs you mint on those websites will actually be connected somehow to that website. So if the website ever got shut down, then your NFT would disappear, I guess, and that's not a good thing. But there are definitely ways to make sure that your NFT is not linked to anything and that it survives on its own. So I think there's just still room for improvement, and with the gifts being NFT sold, I mean, hopefully that's not going to wreck anyone, but I'm not sure. But I do think there is a place for NFTs, like actual non-fungible tokens, like maybe linking NFTs to graduation diplomas and making sure that it's authentic, or a title to your car, and different real-world assets, like making sure that you have the original and you have a certificate for that and the NFT and everything like that. So I do think there is definitely use cases for it. But as far as the gifts, like, I'm not as much a fan of like gift NFTs, just because I don't know. I feel like those could be recreated more easily. So I'm just waiting to see basically how it progresses.
I got you. I agree. There's a lot of things that I think NFTs are going to be utilized for. It's just a matter of when and when mainstream adoption happens. I love where you were just going with the future thought. So let's stick with the future, man. So where do you think crypto's going to be in the future? You know, Bitcoin, Hex, everything. Where do you see the crypto space in 5 years?
In 5 years? Ooh,
Or the future. We could keep it broad.
Yeah, I'm thinking about this. This is a good question. There's going to be DeFi taking over just like it is right now. So definitely a bigger focus on DeFi, I feel like, than UTXO blockchains. But UTXO definitely has their place, like Bitcoin, Litecoin, DigiByte. Those are all solid, and, you know, yeah, they're solid community, solid technology. I feel like a lot of proof of work might be transferring to proof of stake, because that's just where we're headed, and it's more eco-friendly, and can be just as secure depending on your proof of stake algorithm. And then hopefully you get rewards for staking. Like, there's a lot of cool things. I don't know if Bitcoin will be dominant in like the number one market cap in 10 years from now, but I still think like Bitcoin will hit $1 million. Like, I'm still convicted that Bitcoin could be $1 million per Bitcoin. It could happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like Hex will definitely be a big player. It's in the top 3 right now. Like, Hex is number 3 right behind Ethereum. And I'm curious to see where Pulse Chain is going to be. That might be a top 10. This is very speculative talk right now, so guys, I could be completely wrong. Like,
NFA.
do not take this advice at all. Like, definitely take it with a grain of salt. And I don't do technical analysis. Like, my whole journey has pretty much been off of intuition in the crypto space, like when to invest, and of course research, like what I'm investing in. But so far, my intuition has served me well, like with catching bottom of Bitcoin and things like that. So I just have to put it back on you guys to do your due diligence. And yeah, I mean, I don't like to even give price predictions.
Yeah, I got you. No worries. Overall, crypto's the future, guys. You heard it here. Gen Z. we truly do believe in the future of cryptocurrency, and I really loved that I had you on the show today. Thank you so much for coming. I've literally been waiting for this for so long, and it was such a chill vibe. I really love your vibe, and just like Clint Westwood just said in the chat, always trust your intuition. Girl, you got this. You've been getting it. And is there anything you want to say, any last words before we head out? Where can everyone find you?
Oh, cool. I do have one last thought.
Recently,
I just became a Make a Difference ambassador.
Oh, yes.
I've really been focusing a lot of my time there. So I just wanted to let you guys know about it really quick for the purpose of, I think this could greatly bless the world. And if you are someone early to make a difference, like, this could be huge. But anyway, what Make a Difference is a green energy company that's going to get rid of fossil fuels completely and bring about cleaner, greener energy in all the most efficient ways. Definitely focusing on geothermal and like hydropower electricity, things like wireless energy, and just transferring all our old methods of energy to newer, cleaner. There's so many good things about it, but they're at Mad the Future on Twitter and Instagram, and they are linked to the cryptocurrency in a way because they'll be using blockchain technology in their projects, and also they are offering an equity token. So if you invest in Mad and Make a Difference, then you'll have equity in the company. And this is one of the biggest opportunities of my lifetime. Like, really, it's going to make the invention of the iPhone look like a blip on the radar. Like, this is way up there with like investing in Amazon in the early days. Like, I don't know, this is going to take over the world. But just had to give a quick shout out to them. And they're still going public. I know there's not a lot of information out yet, but they're about to release their new website. I'm just so excited. I can't help but mention it.
No, I'm so sorry I didn't even bring it up. I really should have, because I know you've been like out and you've been going and really spreading adoption, and I think that's amazing. I put their link and to their website and the Twitter in the chat. I had it ready. I literally had it on the side. I literally should have pasted it. But yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Awesome.
Keep doing what you're doing. I really love what you're doing. Again, I'm a fan of you since the beginning. Thank you so much for coming on. Please follow Crypty Girl on Twitter at Crypty Girl. I put her link in the chat as well and in the description of the video. So thank you so much for coming, Crypty. I had a blast with you today. I had a blast with you guys in the chat as well. Thank you again for coming. Please like and subscribe and share this video. I'd really appreciate it. And have a great Friday. Stay zesty, guys. Peace.
Yeah, bye.
Good morning, crypto Twitter, it's Misty Crypto, spreading crypto adoption, showing its benefits to my generation. Shout out to all my people, Gen Z needs to be included, it's really that simple. We are savage, amazed, boss, zesty, make a definition